On today's episode of NBA Kicks, we have our first player exclusive colorway of the Jordan 35, 3 colorways of the Kobe 5 Protro, and Udonis Haslem makes his first and probably last appearance on the show. I'm your host Rahman. Welcome to NBA Kicks. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Robert Williams with the Reebok Answer 5. Alright, so these are making the list just based on pure rarity alone, because the Reebok Answer 5 is just one of those sneakers you never really see anymore. So when I saw Robert Williams, aka the Time Lord of Boston, rocking these, I was really happy to see them back on the court, especially since the Answer 5 was one of the more popular sneakers on the playground back when I was a kid pretending to be AI. This particular colorway is from the Iverson Classic, which is AI's All-American game, and uses a simple black and gold color scheme with a gum bottom outsole for an overall simple look that is clean and again, extremely rare, which is why you're seeing them at number 10 on this week's list. Next up at number 9, we have Udonis Haslem with a PE of the Li-Ning Wave Weight 8. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am still shocked that Udonis Haslem is on the Heat, and it's getting to the point where I think he'll be on the Heat until he's like 70 years old. What's even more surprising is this player exclusive colorway of the Li-Ning Wave Weight 8 that was made exclusively for Haslem and uses a simple black, red, and gold color scheme, but also has a UD logo on the tongue as well as a UD logo on the heel, but this time in an Old English font. Out of all the players in the league, Udonis Haslem is who you least expect to have a player exclusive sneaker, but you got to admit he has paid his dues, so much respect to UD, one of the most legendary Heat players of all time. Coming in at number 8, we have Kawhi Leonard with an alternate colorway of the New Balance Kawhi. Now, on the last episode of NBA Kicks, we talked about New Balance's Jolly Rancher collab on Kawhi's first signature sneaker, but this week we have an alternate colorway of that same collab, which uses a blue and yellow color scheme with the same Jolly Rancher inspired graphics on the collar and the tongue. Be sure to let me know which of these two colorways you like better in the comment section below. For me personally, I'm actually gonna have to go with the blue and yellow pair. I think they just came out a little bit cleaner, but I do have to admit that the white pair has a more Jolly Rancher look. But that's just me. Let me know what you think down below. Next up at number 7, we have Bam Adebayo with an ID of the Nike Zoom Freak 2. Bam Adebayo has been absolutely huge for the Heat and their run to the finals, and he's been hooping in this ID colorway of the Zoom Freak 2, which does have a lot going on with it, but at least they're unique. Bam decided to go with the USA graphic on the upper in black and red with white stars, as well as with the mini swoosh option, which has a tiny gold swoosh sitting inside a large white one. The rest of the silhouette is rounded out with a white midsole, outsole, and tongue. And while this is a very, very busy colorway, it is a one of one, and I always love seeing guys rock IDs since it gives us some insight into how these guys like their sneakers to look. But honestly, I really just want to know who you guys have in the finals, the Heat or the Lakers. Say the Lakers. Next up at number 6, we have Anthony Davis with a new colorway of the Nike Kobe 5 Protro. The first colorway of the Kobe 5 Protro on this week's list is a new colorway that I'm honestly not the biggest fan of, but it is new, so I just had to put it on this week's list. This colorway looks very similar to the much beloved Chaos colorway, but instead of purple, this colorway uses an interesting teal colorway that is complemented with a neutral shade of gray, while the white tones and Volt outsole from the Chaos colorway remains the same. It's not so much that this is a bad colorway by any means, it just looks like a knockoff version of the Chaos colorway, so while this isn't the finest hour for Nike and the Kobe 5, I appreciate the effort, and who knows, maybe some of you guys will like this colorway, but for me, I'm just gonna put them at number 6 and call it a day. Alright, so before we get to our top 5 sneakers of the week, I'm gonna need you guys to do me a favor and hit that like button. It takes 1 second, and if you don't hit that like button, I swear to God, guys, I will stop collecting sneakers. Just kidding, I won't stop collecting sneakers. I just really need you to hit that like button, please. Kicking off our top 5 sneakers of the week, we have LeBron James with the Nike LeBron 7. Now, it's no secret, the 7s are one of LeBron's favorite sneakers of all time, and he's been rocking the 7s a few times throughout this season, but this time, LBJ decided to rock the USA colorway. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're looking at this and going like, how is this a USA colorway when they're clearly blue and orange? And trust me, that's exactly what I said, but I think that this color balance on this photographer's camera was just messed up. Either way, it's just always great to see the LeBron 7 on the court. It's a beautiful looking sneaker, and I'm really interested to see what LeBron will be wearing in the finals, because we all know Nike and the King always brings the heat on the biggest stage. Next up at number 4, we have Paul Millsap with a player exclusive colorway of the Kobe 5 Protro. The second colorway of the Kobe 5 on this week's list comes from Paul Millsap, who despite losing the series to the Lakers and LeBron, he did get his first ever playoff win against LeBron, so at least there's that. As for the sneakers, this colorway uses a Denver Nuggets yellow and navy color scheme with some nice color blocking as well as some yellow speckles on the midsole. And while I would have loved to see some burgundy on the inner lining or outline on the swoosh, it's still a very clean colorway that definitely deserves a spot on this week's list. Next up at number 3, we have LeBron James with the Reflections colorway of the Nike LeBron 18. So LBJ warmed up in his new signature model, the LeBron 18, in this reflection colorway, which is inspired by James's rise to the top of the league. As you can see, these use a black upper with the metallic gold glitter sprinkled throughout, while the rest of the colorway is rounded out with both blue and yellow hits, as well as an interesting graphic on both the tongue and the underlay of the heel, which is definitely the standout feature. But like I said earlier, I'm really just interested to see what LeBron is going to be wearing in this year's finals, since he does have one of my favorite final sneakers of all time with that alternate red colorway of the LeBron 9 Elite. So hopefully we get some dope colorways of the LeBron 18 in this year's finals, where the Lakers will eventually win the whole thing and be your 2019-20 NBA champs. I said what I said. Coming in as our runner-up, we have Kemba Walker with a PE of the Air Jordan 35. So here it is, guys. This is our first player-exclusive colorway of the recently unveiled Jordan 35, and it belongs to none other than Kemba Walker. Using a bright green color scheme, these are pretty straightforward with a few black hits on the tongue, toe box, as well as the Eclipse Plate 2.0, but the overall vibrant nature of these is what truly makes them stand out, and from a distance, they definitely catch your eye. But the question is, does it change your mind on the 35s in general? You guys already know that I'm very excited about this release because I love the 34s so much, but I do have to admit, the 35s do look a little heavier than its predecessor, so I am a little worried that I won't like them as much on the court. But that's just a guess, and we'll have to wait and see until I get them in hand. For now, I have to admit that this colorway of the 35 is one of the best we've seen so far. Finally, at the number 1 spot, we have Andre Iguodala with a South Beach colorway of the Nike Kobe 5 Protro. Oh man, when I first saw Iguodala rock these on the court, I already knew that they were gonna take the number 1 spot, because honestly, I mean, just look at these things. Obviously, the South Beach colorway is a fan favorite, but who knew it would work so well on the Kobe 5? But I guess it makes sense since the Kobe 5 is just a flat out beautiful silhouette, and putting an iconic colorway only proves my point. The only thing that's really throwing me off about these is the black speckling on the overlays of the upper, but other than that, everything here is absolutely perfect, from the bright pink on the tongue and the heel to the solid black swoosh sitting on top that vice blue upper and midsole. At the end of the day, out of all the sneakers on this week's list, I would much rather have these in my collection over everything else, and that's why they take the crown as the best sneaker worn in the NBA during week 6 of the 2019-20 NBA playoffs. If you guys enjoyed this episode of NBA Kicks, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And also don't forget to leave your finals prediction with your games in the comment section below. I got the Lakers in 5. My name's Jaren. It's been great having you. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.